kids growing up in bad neighborhoods and bad environments don't really have a purpose and a structure. Things like college and all these things that normal people think of, like my kids that have a much more privileged life than I did. They don't think about these things. You just think about getting through the next day, right? That gave me all the structure that I needed. I did well. I served until I was an E6 rank, so a first class petty officer in the Navy. I worked on something called the Aegis weapon system as a technician and an operator. I got selected for a program after I did a deployment to Operation Iraqi Freedom, Enduring Freedom for the beginning of it. I got selected for a program called Seaman to Admiral, sends you to any college of your choice. You graduate with a degree of your choice, and then you commission as an officer. I did that. I went to Old Dominion University in Virginia. I got a general engineering degree, which was about 75% electrical, 25% mechanical. So today it'd probably be called systems engineering. And then I commissioned as an ensign with a bachelor's degree in general engineering, went to ships in San Diego, was serving on those ships down there. I was now an officer in charge of the same people that I used to be as an enlisted, which was pretty unique. Working on the same weapon system and all that stuff. A guy that was on the ship with, he took me home for Thanksgiving here to Carpinteria in 2007. And I happened to meet his cousin, who is my wife. And so I came home for Thanksgiving in 2007 and I've never left, which is why I'm here. Handful of tours as an officer, operational. Once I finished that, I got selected for another thing called the Engineering Duty Officer Program. You go into the Navy's Corps of Acquisition, basically, in engineering, that you have to have a master's degree. So I went to Naval Postgraduate School in Monterey, got my systems engineering master's degree. Then I served 2 tours at Naval Base Ventura County at NSWC Port Hueneme. So I served back there both as a lieutenant and a commander in charge of a department there. And I served 3 tours in Washington, D.C. on major defense acquisition programs. Those are big money, big dollar, billion-dollar programs. So although this is my first time running for office because I just retired in September, I am a professional at the process in Washington, D.C. from the government's end. So I've seen the swamp from the other side, which is why I do not like career politicians. I do not like the process. For me going to D.C., it's more of I want to go there and make changes. I want to go there and be a force for good in Washington, D.C. And I know that, that's a hard task there.